Today I'm going to take a look at the exhaust on my cafe racer. Here it is without any exhaust, and this is the stock exhaust. It's a 2-to-1 aftermarket exhaust made by Motad in the UK, and I don't like it. It was probably nice back in the 80s when the bike was new, but on a cafe racer, no. Main problem is it's too bulky and too big here. It's too long. I want a shorter exhaust. Another thing I don't like is that the pipes are very tucked into the engine. I would like them to fill out this gap by having them going more like not 90 degrees but almost straight downwards. And I would like them to not come out on the side, but have they centered and go on the middle of the motor under here, and then come out at the end here or in the middle of the bike and going backwards. Because I also have another task, and that is to lowering the foot pegs. They are a bit high, you're sitting a bit with your knees very high up, so I would like to lower the foot pegs, and then I need to do some modifications here. Yeah, let's I really wished I had a motorcycle lift table, but I don't, so I have to lay here on the floor. I have some cardboard though, so yeah, quite comfortable. Lot of work this, just to get these off. I don't even know what this is called. So this one is like mounting for all the stuff here. And I took it away just to get a better closer look at stuff here. And one thing I will do, this mounting here is for the center stand, and I won't be using it. And I bought some exhaust car pipes just to test if I can use them. Yeah. This one, I will definitely cut away this. It will help me on getting room for some pipes here. So that's the first thing to do. And then the mounting for the center stand is cut away. And now it looks like this. Yeah. And then the path for the exit of my exhaust should be much better. Let me show you as well. Something around here. And yeah, I think this will work, hopefully. But first I will create the two downpipes that goes from the cylinders and exits from the engine. These are the aftermarket one that I had on my bike. And they are made out of several parts. I will reuse this one. So this goes here. But I don't want to use this part, rebuild it. I want to create my own pipes from scratch. So I have this in spare, or maybe I can sell them, because these are in decent condition. So I will create everything from scratch. This curvy stuff, I would like to have it a bit more, less curvy, a bit more squarish. I think that looks cool, more like industrial design type, rougher, whatever. This pipe slides on like this. I will not be able to do that on my way because it would be too steep of a curve. So let me show you how I would like to do it. So I have bought a lot of 38mm galvanized steel pipes. That was what I could find here locally. And of course it's no good to weld on galvanized steel, so I have taken away the stuff with my polisher on my grinder to get into bare metal, at least the parts I will be welding. I also have a steel pipe that is a bit bigger, that goes outside of this, and the ID. So I am not able to create this flange like this. So what I have planned to do is we'll be starting with this tube. That will be the first part of the exhaust. And then I will slide over this and I will make a weld around here, fill this with weld and sand it down, make it flush. And then I hope this will work as the flange or flare or whatever it is the correct name. Of course, this biggest tube here will have to look like this because it's going against this one. This is a very tight fit inside of the cylinder on the bike, so it needs to be quite accurate. So I will do some experiments here on creating this somehow. Let's see how that goes. I have an idea. So then, of course, also to make the bend, I will use these pie cuts. I used my bandsaw to cut all of this. I created a separate video you can see about my bandsaw. Really have been useful in this process, cutting all these pieces. So this is like the 90-degree angle I will create, weld this together. And so I have this first tube out from the cylinder, 90-degree angle. Then I have the downpipe weld on this, and then I will have a new bend and then under the motor or the engine. So yeah, I guess it's time to start building. So the first task, make this piece look like this. And I have found this socket that fits here. So if I'm able to knock this some half a centimeters downwards, I will widen out this first pipe. So I will just attach some tape to it first, if I can find the end. Like this. So the plan is now to knock down this, widen the pipe. To do that, I will use my floor because that's solid. I don't want to use my table, it will flex. And I have this piece of a railroad track. I will use that as my anvil. Let's try it. Okay, so as you can see, the pipe, when I was knocking it down, I couldn't get it to go flat into the pipe, so it went sideways. So I got a nice bend on that side, but not too much on this side. So if I test it now, it's getting there, but I think I'll try to do the rest just using a plier. At least I got the first bend started. So by just gradually bending the pipe, I hope I can stretch the metal. This isn't visible, so nobody will see this. It's just a functional piece. Okay, second attempt. Yeah, I think that's fine. And of course, what happens when you put pressure on this, if anything is gonna bend, it will bend, so it will be widened out until it stops into this attachment area. So I think this will be fine. So now, of course, it's a bit too tall, because since I have been knocking on this using my hammer, I was afraid that this part might get damaged. So now I can cut it into the correct size. So I put the parts in my vise, and I used some wire from my welder to keep the distance as equal as I could. So now I will put some tack welds around here, and then I will do the full weld later. So here we go. Okay, so then it's time to weld this around, and of course I will be using my self-made tool for this. And you might want to see this video on how I made this. I'm very happy about this solution. It can be used to a lot. So let me just assemble this, and hopefully it will be a success. And here you can see the weld, not perfect, but at least it seems to be sealed all the way around. So then I will use my angle grinder and sand it down to get a flush straight end. So here you can see the result. Not perfect, but yeah, I think that will keep it sealed. And as you can see, I also added 5 of the picots and just taped it onto this downpipe. So let's see if it fits. Yeah, I will slide on this. Exciting times. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That is how it's gonna be. So then comes the boring task of welding all these picots. And then most of the pieces are welded. I made both of them, so in total 20 welds are made. In addition to the downpipes, I also made the 2 smaller pieces that will go under the engine. And I also prepared the joint, the 2-to-1. I will be using 2-inch 51 mil size on the diameter on the output exhaust that the mufflers goes into, and then it needs to go 2-to-1 to the manifold. So what I will be doing now is to use this, put it on the underside of the engine, so I have the exact location for where the downpipes needs to go. And this one will be like this, but I don't have the exact size yet, so that will be the last job, is to find exactly where to cut them and mount it on the bike. I put a cardboard under the engine here because I want some clearance to make sure that I at least have half a centimeters of clearance. And then this is supposed to go under here. And I've done a lot of measurements trying to figure out exactly where to cut this, finding the center of the underside of the engine here, centering these pieces. And I think I will start by just cutting these pipes, small incremental steps to not mess up. So yeah, I will probably start with one of them. I figured out around 8 millimeters shorter to get less clearance here. And also I need to create a bit of an angle, because if I put this now, they are pointing a bit downwards here. So I need to tilt them a bit like this. Not very much, but yeah. Over to the bandsaw and make some cuts. And then the pipes are cut at the appropriate length. The first one was spot on the first cut, lucky there. The second one I took a couple of incremental cuts until I was happy. And I also strapped on with just temporary strap with some cardboard, as I mentioned here. So I have this approximately where I want it to go. underneath the engine. So now this fits like this. And then the second one should also fit, hopefully, like this. So then it's just putting on some spot welds on each of these and then taking everything apart, welding it all around, and then, yeah. And the final bottom part of the exhaust pipes are welded on and fitted on the bike. And here you can see the end result. I'm quite satisfied. Having the exhaust pipe centered, filling out the gap in between of the engine and the front wheel, yeah, looks quite nice, I think. But of course, I'm not done yet. I've ordered a muffler, so it's in the mail. As soon as I get it, I will continue this work, so it will be a part 2 of this video. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again later. Bye bye.